Remember I said that we would configure Ansible Navigator? Well, let's do that right now. I thought it would be best to just put that whole thing in its own unique video. So SSH Ansible at workstation, like we have been doing. Documents, RHCE. So remember we created this Ansible Navigator disabled file. And if you want to know how, check out the last video. Let's copy Ansible Navigator disabled to Ansible Navigator YAML. It's gonna be a YAML file. Vim Navigator. So we're gonna delete these lines right here. And so what are we gonna need? What are we gonna need? Well, let's start just with like the super basic function. Let's just see if it runs right now because it should. It's pulling. We're gonna need this whole thing right here because that's this. Thus is the image that thy require. Oh, that's the image that we're gonna put in the config file. Sorry, it was just a moment. I had a moment. Yes, thusly. So Ansible Navigator, there are a bunch of options that you can set, but you're not gonna have to do this on the exam. So I'm just doing this for our benefit. So we're not gonna go insane. Let me see, Ansible Builder, Ansible Lint, Runner. So this is something that we're gonna probably want. Enable prompts. And we're going to put that to true because it does a few things. So enable prompts for passwords, which is good. And it was also set the default mode to standard out and disable playbook artifact creation, which we want. So, but we're going to leave this for now because I just want to show you how it creates artifacts. And also, if you enable prompts true and you just run Ansible Navigator, it's not going to be able to run because the default mode is standard out and you're not going to get the welcome page and the GUI, the execution environment. So I don't want to mess you up too badly. Let's just baby steps. Execution environment, and we're gonna do container engine. This is Podman, but it's gonna work. And image. This is the string that I was copying before, and let's do. Let's do delete and let's paste it in here. That is good. Pull. Yes, we're gonna pull. I think image and pull, was it the same? Oh, well, let's just see. Policy, pull policy is going to be missing. So we just want it if it's missing. Don't want it if it's, why do I keep doing that? I have an issue. Like that, and delete this, and let's do missing. See what happens now. See if we're happy. Are we going to be happy? We're happy. So Podman images. You saw how quick and easy, rappy, snappy that was. It was not pulling an image. It was no issue. So this is what we want. We want it to be quick. The thing is, if you enable, just so you know, if you put the thing to true that we were just talking about, then you're not going to get enable prompt to put this to true. You're not going to get that welcome page that we just got. And but the good thing is that you're not going to get, what was it called again? Artifacts. So let's just create. So again, do you want to like go from the top? No, let's not do that. So thing is, Podman, let's see if we're actually logged in. I don't think so. Podman login. What was it? Get login. Get login. We're not logged in, but the thing is, like I was doing earlier, Podman images. We have that image. So let's say we want to remove the image that we have. I wonder if I can do tab. Yeah, because it's the only image that we have. Podman to the rescue and winning. So Podman images. Now we have no image. Let's say we want to fire up Ansible Navigator with our fancy new Ansible Navigator YAML file. And now it's trying to pull, but it can't because we're not logged in. So remember, you're going to have to log in. Podman login registry.redhat.io. And my password that never ends, Ansible Navigator. Now it's pulling. So you can play around with the Ansible Navigator YAML file. You're going to have maybe a few indentation issues if you're new to YAML, and could drive you mad, but play around with it because, well, I like using just the good old Ansible playbook. I really don't use the execution environment. But I see benefits, I see pluses and minuses, but now it should fire up right away. Nice. Let me see. And Ansible Navigator, see if YAML. Oh, sorry, I'm just so used to using NeoVim. So I'll just show you. I will show you. There may be other stuff that you're just gonna like. You're gonna like to use because you like Ansible Navigator. Enable prompts like that, and let's make it true. So now it's true, Ansible Navigator. If we run that, we should not get a welcome page because now the main method is going to be like this, M standard out. And the thing is with Ansible Navigator, -M does not stand for a module, probably a method, if I would have to guess. But so sometimes it's like if you're moving back and forth, Ansible, let's say node 1, M module setup, inventory, because we haven't created an Ansible user. We're going to do that in the next video. So these commands are unusually long. So here you can see -M stands for module. We're using the M, the setup module, sorry. And so if we're going to do Ansible Navigator, and now the default method is going to be standard out. And so Ansible Navigator needs to present a welcome page in the GUI, but because even if you try with mode interactive, I think, yeah, well, maybe somebody's going to tell me, oh, you can do it via this. I never use the interactive GUI mode. So I think that you're all set. Let's just quickly go over Vim, Ansible, Navigator, YAML. Like I said, this was supposed to be short and sweet because I just didn't want to put this in a video with creating users. So that would be kind of weird. So specific video for your pleasure, configuring Ansible Navigator. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, because a lot of these options I don't set. I set the bulk of the options and the things that I use in Ansible.cfg. Inventory, playbook, Ansible, Flint, runner, prompts, execution environment. See if there's anything else that springs to mind. Missing. No, I am going to say no. And in the future, if we're running playbooks using Ansible Navigator and we're having issues or we want to change something, then we're just going to do that. So I think this is kind of like a good baseline for us to work from. And again, you're not going to have to do this for the exam. This is more just to learn about Ansible Navigator and also just so it's not going to drive you insane, which it can. So next video, we're going to be creating the Ansible user. We're going to be distributing keys. And so probably doing like 2 or 3 methods about like for creating users. And so just a simple user creation and then the Ansible user with an SSH key that we're going to distribute to every host. And then also looping through, let's say we have variables that have multiple users and looping through that and just making it a bit more fancy. It's probably not needed for the certification, but why not, have 2, 3 methods so that we can cycle through. So appreciate you. Thanks for watching. And until next time, bye.